Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, all of you, please switch on your videos. Okay. So in our last class, we were discussing about some uses of galvanometer. We can convert the galvanometer into ammeter and that of the voltmeter with some appropriate modification. Navrin, how we can convert this moving coil galvanometer into ammeter?
By connecting a small resistance called shunt resistance
How we are connecting the shunt resistance to that of the galvanometer?
parallel to that of the galvanometer.
Parallel to that of the galvanometer. Good. Then next question, Gauri, how we can convert moving coil galvanometer into voltmeter?
Ma'am, I was not there last class.
Okay. So then the question to Nandana, how we can convert moving coil galvanometer into voltmeter?
By connecting a large resistance in series with the galvanometer.
With the galvanometer. Okay. So by some appropriate modification, we can convert this moving coil galvanometer into ammeter and that of the voltmeter by connecting a small resistance called a shunt resistance parallel with that of the galvanometer. Thereby we can convert moving coil galvanometer into ammeter. And if we are connecting a large resistance with resistance value R in series with that of the galvanometer, then we can convert the moving coil galvanometer into voltmeter. Now, another question that you can expect from this portion is about current sensitivity and voltage sensitivity. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about current sensitivity and voltage sensitivity. So let us see what you mean by current sensitivity. All of you first write the definition for current sensitivity. Current sensitivity is the of a galvanometer is the deflection produced by unit current. The current sensitivity of a moving coil galvanometer is the deflection produced by unit current. Current sensitivity of a moving coil galvanometer is the deflection produced by the term deflection we mean that the angle of deflection produced by the unit current. Current sensitivity of a galvanometer is the deflection produced by unit current. Okay. Is it over? That is, we know that equation for galvanometer. We already derived the equation for moving coil galvanometer in our previous class. Can you recollect the equation for moving coil galvanometer? What is the equation for moving coil galvanometer? In our previous class, we derived an equation for the moving coil galvanometer. What's the equation?
Phi is equal to NIAB by K.
Phi is equal to NAB into I divided by K. So this is the equation that we are deriving for the moving coil galvanometer, where phi is the angle of deflection, n is the number of turns of the coil, A is the area of cross section, and B magnetic field, I current passing through this rectangular coil or the conductor, and what is K represents? K. What is K? K is the proportionality constant. K is the proportionality constant. So phi is equal to NAB I divided by K, where N is the number of turns, A is the area of cross section, B magnetic field, I is the current passing through the conductor, and K is the proportionality constant. And here we are going to discuss about current sensitivity. According to the definition, we know that current sensitivity, the current sensitivity is the deflection per unit current. Okay, the deflection per unit current. That is, the angle of deflection is given by phi divided by unit current. That is, here we are going to brought this I, the term I to the LHS. Phi divided by I is equal to NAB divided by K. Phi by I is equal to NAB by K. This is the equation for calculating the current sensitivity of a galvanometer. So according to the definition, we know that the current sensitivity is the deflection per unit current. Deflection means angle of deflection, where phi is the angle of deflection. This angle of deflection per unit current is equal to NAB divided by K. This entire equation is known as the equation for current sensitivity. So the angle of deflection per unit current gives the current sensitivity. Is it clear? Then students, can you make a definition for voltage sensitivity? The deflection per unit current is known as voltage sensitivity. Sorry, current sensitivity. Then what do you mean by voltage sensitivity? Any guess?
Deflection per unit volt.
Ah, yes, exactly. It's right. The deflection per unit voltage is known as voltage sensitivity. So that is what is we are going to discuss next. So this is also all about the current sensitivity. The next term is voltage sensitivity. How we can calculate the voltage sensitivity of a galvanometer. The voltage sensitivity of galvanometer is the deflection produced by unit voltage. The deflection produced by unit current is known as current sensitivity. Then the deflection produced by unit voltage is known as voltage sensitivity of a galvanometer. The voltage sensitivity of a galvanometer is the deflection produced by unit voltage.
Ma'am,
Yes.
unit current means 1 ampere, right?
Yes.
So phi will be equal to NAB by K.
Phi will be equal to NAB by K. But sometimes it is not only equal to 1 ampere. Sometimes in questions the term or the value of the current must be provided. Okay. In that cases, we need to substitute the value of the current there. Here in our exercise session, we have some problems regarding with this voltage sensitivity and current sensitivity. So we can discuss during that time. Okay. So this is the voltage sensitivity. The voltage sensitivity of a galvanometer is the deflection produced by unit voltage. So here we have an equation for calculating the current sensitivity. What is the equation for current sensitivity? Phi by I is equal to NAB by K. So this is the equation for calculating current sensitivity. Phi by I is equal to NAB divided by K. How we can convert them into voltage sensitivity in terms of voltage sensitivity? According to Ohm's law, what is voltage or potential difference across the ends of a conductor? According to Ohm's law, what is the voltage potential difference? V.
IR.
Yes, very good. V is equal to IR. Okay. So according to Ohm's law, we know that the potential difference across the ends of a conductor, V is equal to IR. So here we need to find out the voltage sensitivity, an equation for voltage sensitivity. For that, here we are going to multiply resistance in the denominator on both sides of the equation. Multiply resistance R in the denominator of both sides of the equation. Here we are going to form an equation for voltage sensitivity. Voltage sensitivity is nothing, it is the deflection, the angle of deflection per unit voltage. So in order to get an expression for voltage, we are applying the Ohm's law. We know that according to Ohm's law, the potential difference V is equal to IR. So for that, here we are going to multiply resistance R in the denominator of both sides of the equation. So then what about our equation becomes?
5 by IR
5 divided by IR
equal to NAB by KR.
equal to NAB divided by KR. Okay. 5 divided by IR is equal to NAB divided by KR. And we know that this IR, according to Ohm's law, this IR is potential difference. Or we can modify this equation. 5 by V is equal to NAB divided by KR. This is the equation for voltage sensitivity of a galvanometer. 5 by IR is equal to NAB by KR. Or you can modify it into the form 5 divided by V is equal to NAB by KR. Okay, so this is about the voltage sensitivity and current sensitivity. So the first equation for voltage sensitivity and the second equation, that is angle of deflection per unit current, 5 by I is equal to NAB by K. It represents current sensitivity. This is current sensitivity. So my next question, can you guess the factors on which the current sensitivity depends? On which factors the current sensitivity depends? Where 5 by I is known as current sensitivity, what are the factors on which our current sensitivity depends?
Area of cross section.
Area of cross section, okay. Only on area of cross section.
No, ma'am. Number of turns.
Number of turns of the coil.
Magnetic field.
Magnetic field. So from this equation, we can make another conclusion. The current sensitivity depends on number of turns of the coil, area of cross section, and magnetic field. The current sensitivity depends on N, A, and B, number of turns of the coil, area of cross section, and magnetic field, B for magnetic field. Then what about the voltage sensitivity? What are the factors on which the voltage sensitivity depends? The factors on which the voltage sensitivity depends. Yes, Vidur, what are the factors on which the voltage sensitivity depends?
Number of turns.
Number of turns,
Area of cross section.
area of cross section,
Magnetic field.
magnetic field,
and resistance.
resistance. Very good. Here one more factor is there in the case of voltage sensitivity, that is resistance. Number of turns of the coil, area of cross section, magnetic field, and resistance. In the case of current sensitivity, the term resistance is absent, but in voltage sensitivity, we can find one more term, that is resistance. Is it clear? Okay. So once again, we can recall this voltage sensitivity and current sensitivity. Emmanuel, can you define current sensitivity?
Pi by angle of deflection by current equal to number of turns in area of cross section into magnetic field by K.
K. Okay, and then next question, Sharon, voltage sensitivity.
The voltage sensitivity of a galvanometer is the deflection produced by the unit voltage.
Equation, okay, enough, good. Then Gayatri, what is the equation for voltage sensitivity?
Phi by V is equal to NAB by KR.
Phi by V is equal to NAB by KR. So that's all about this chapter. We are coming to the end of this lesson. So in this chapter, we were discussing about magnetic field and Lorentz force. In order to, can you recall about Lorentz force? What do you mean by Lorentz force? Lorentz force means if a charged particle is moving in an electric field or magnetic field, it experiences the force by both electric field and magnetic field. So the combined effect of the force due to electric field and magnetic field is known as Lorentz force. Then we were discussing about the two important rules or law, that is Ampere-Circuital law and Biot-Savart's law. The Biot-Savart's law is exactly similar to that of the Coulomb's law in that of the electrostatic field. So corresponding to in magnetic field, we have Biot-Savart's law and its application. And another important law that we were discussing in this chapter is about Ampere-Circuital law. Ampere-Circuital law is exactly similar to that of Gauss's law in electrostatic, and we made some comparison between the Ampere-Circuital law and that of the Gauss's law. Okay, then about the cyclotron. So in this previous year, the cyclotron is actually deleted portion in the syllabus. The cyclotron is an deleted portion, so you give a least importance for that portion. Okay, you don't need to take much time or extra effort to cover that portion about cyclotron. It is a deleted portion of the previous syllabus. Then we were discussing about the torque produced by the rectangular coil circular loop. And then finally, we were moved to the moving coil galvanometer. What about the working principle, construction, and how we can convert this moving coil galvanometer into ammeter and voltmeter. And an extra point that is regarding with this moving coil galvanometer is the current sensitivity and voltage sensitivity. So that's all about this chapter. Is there any doubt? Okay, so let us discuss some exercise problems. Question number 1. A circular coil of wire consisting of 100 turns, each of radius 8 centimeter, carries a current of 0.40 ampere. What is the magnitude of the magnetic field at the center of the coil? These are our NCERT questions, page number 169 of your NCERT textbook, the first question. A circular coil of wire consisting of 100 turns, each of radius 8 centimeter, carries a current of 0.40 ampere. What is the magnitude of the magnetic field B at the center of the coil? So first of all, you identify what are the parameters are provided in this question. What are the things are provided here?
N.
N. Number of turns are given, that is capital N. So the number of turns of the coil N is equal to 100. Then
R.
R. Radius. Radius R is equal to 8 centimeter. So we need to convert it into meter. That is equal to 8 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Okay. and it carries a current of 0.40 ampere. So the current is also provided. I is equal to 0.40 ampere. And here what we want to calculate, what is the magnitude of the magnetic field B at the center of the coil? Here we want to calculate B. What is the equation for calculating the magnetic field B? And here it is a circular coil. What is the expression for calculating the magnetic field of a circular coil? What is the equation? S.
Amperes first application.
S, Achyut?
No, ma'am, are we using amperes application?
Yes. What is the equation for calculating the magnetic field due to a circular coil? Mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r is there or 2r? What is the equation for calculating the magnetic field due to a circular coil? B is equal to final equation. Aditya, what is the equation for calculating the magnetic field due to circular coil? Circular loop.
Mu 0 I by 2 pi r.
2 pi r is there. Mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r. What is the equation for calculating the magnetic field due to circular coil?
2r.
Mu 0 I divided by 2r. Mu 0 I divided by 2r. So the magnetic field due to a circular coil is given by B is equal to mu 0 I divided by 2r. Mu 0 I divided by 2r. This is the equation for calculating the magnetic field due to circular coil. So here the values given are n is equal to 100 and I is equal to 0.40 ampere and the radius r is equal to, what about the radius r? 8 centimeter, that is 8 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. So this is the equation for one number of turns. If a circular coil with a one number of turn, we can use this equation B is equal to mu 0 I divided by 2r. But here the number of turns are provided, it is 100. So the equation become B is equal to mu 0 Ni. For n number of turns, the equation become B is equal to mu 0 Ni divided by 2r. B is equal to mu 0 Ni divided by 2r. Now what is the value of mu 0?
Ma'am,
Yes.
here we are taking the length of the loop as the circumference, right?
Yes.
So we'll have to take 2 pi r.
But here this r is the radius. Where you are taking the length?
Okay.
This is the final equation. After all the substitution, we get an equation B is equal to mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r. The magnetic field due to a circular coil. Magnetic field due to circular coil. So B is equal to mu 0 Ni divided by 2r. What is the value of mu 0? Mu 0.
10 raised to minus 7 into 4 pi.
4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. And all the other values are provided here. You can substitute directly into the equation. So we get B is equal to mu 0 Ni divided by 2r is our equation. Substitute all the values. Mu 0 is equal to 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 into n is 100. Current I 0.40 ampere divided by 2 into radius 8. What is the value of radius here? 8. 8 into 10 raised to minus 2. So what is the final answer? Here we can cancel this 10 raised to minus 2, 10 raised to minus 7. It becomes 10 raised to minus 5. 2 pi four 100 into 0.40 is 40 divided by 4 into pi into 10 raised to minus 5. So we get 40 by 4, 10. 10 into pi into 10 raised to minus 5. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here we get that is equal to 10 into pi into 10 raised to minus 5. And here we can take this 10 here. So it becomes pi into 10 raised to minus 4. Pi into 10 raised to minus 4. What is the value of pi? 3.14. 3.14 into 10 raised to minus 4. What is the unit of magnetic field B? Unit of magnetic field B?
Tesla.
Tesla. T. 3.14 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. T. So that's the answer. Is it clear? Any doubt in any steps? We are just to substitute all the values into the equation. Here mu 0 is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. Number of turns provided as 100. Current 0.40 divided by 2 into radius. 2 into 8 into 10 raised to minus 2. The radius is given us in terms of centimeter. So we convert them into meter. Then just the mathematical arrangements. Finally, we get 3.14 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. Here we cut this 10 raised to minus 2 with this 10 raised to negative 7. So we get 10 raised to minus 5. 4 by 2. So here we get 2. Again this 2 is cut in this 8. It becomes 4. 100 into 0.40 is 40. 40 divided by 4 into what is left? Pi into 10 raised to minus 5. So finally we get 10 into pi into 10 raised to minus 5. This 10 is cancels here. So it becomes pi into 10 raised to minus 4. That is equal to 3.14 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. So now we can move to the next question. I hope it is clear to you, right? Can we move to the second question?
Yes.
Question number 2. A long straight wire carries a current of 35 ampere. What is the magnitude of the field B at a point 20 centimeter from the wire? A long straight wire carries a current of 35 ampere. What is the magnitude of the field B at a point 20 centimeter from the wire? So here we have a long straight wire. Instead of a circular loop, here we have a long straight wire. It carries a current of 35 ampere. Current I is equal to 35 ampere. And we know that when a current is passing through a current carrying conductor, it produces a magnetic field. So just like that, here also it produces a magnetic field at a point 20 centimeter from the wire. So it produces a magnetic field Imagine if it is produce a magnetic field here at a point P, and this point P is at a distance of 20 centimeter away from this straight conductor. So we want to calculate the magnitude of the field B, magnitude of the magnetic field B produced at this point P, that is at a distance of 20 centimeter away from the straight conductor. What is the equation for calculating the magnetic field due to a infinitely long straight conductor? It's an application of Ampere's circuital law, the first application of Ampere's circuital law. What is the equation for calculating the magnetic field due to an infinitely long straight conductor?
Mu 0 I by 2 pi r.
Okay, mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r. Here also the magnetic field can be calculated by B is equal to mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r. Mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r. This r is the distance. Here it is 20 centimeter away from that of the straight conductor. I is provided here. So we can just substitute all the values. So the magnetic field due to an infinitely long straight conductor is given by B is equal to mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r. What is the value of I? It is provided in the question. I is equal to 35 ampere. And what is the distance? The distance of the magnetic field from the straight conductor R?
2 into 10 raised to minus 12.
Yes, 20 centimeter, that is equal to 20 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Therefore, magnetic field B is equal to mu 0 is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 into the current 35 ampere, 35 into 35. So here we have B is equal to mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r, that is equal to, did you get the answer? Complete it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 into 35 divided by 2 pi into the distance between the point is 20 centimeter. So 20 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. So here we can cancel this. It becomes 2. 10 raised to minus 2 becomes 10 raised to minus 5. 10. So we get 35 divided by 10 into 10 raised to minus 5. That is equal to 3.5, right?
Yes, ma'am.
3.5 into 10 raised to minus 5 unit Tesla, T. The unit of magnetic field is Tesla, or you can write T, capital T. 3.5 into 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla. Can we move to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? All are remaining silent. Is it
Yes.
over? Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, question number 3. A long straight wire in the horizontal plane carries a current of 50 ampere in the north to south direction. Give the magnitude and direction of B at a point 2.5 meter east of the wire. A long straight wire in the horizontal plane carries a current of 50 ampere in the north to south direction. Give the magnitude and direction of B at a point 2.5 meter east of the wire. So here also we consider a long straight wire in the horizontal plane. Okay, so here we consider a long straight wire in the horizontal plane. It carries a current of 50 ampere. So here the current passing through this current is equal to 50 ampere, and the direction of the current is from north to south direction. So we can take it as north, this is as the south. So here we consider a long straight wire in north-south direction in a horizontal plane, and it carries a current of 50 ampere. So if it is the north and this is the south, this is the east, and here we have the west. So what is the question? Give the magnitude and direction of B at a point 2.5 meter east of the wire. So whenever the current passing through this long straight wire, it produces a magnetic field in the east. It produces a magnetic field here. And it is at a distance of 2.5 meter away from the straight conductor. The distance is R. R is equal to 2.5 meter. So here also we want to calculate the magnitude and the direction. Here not only find the magnitude but also the direction of the magnetic field produced at the east. What is the magnitude and the direction of the magnetic field produced at this point E, east? Again, what is the equation for calculating the magnetic field here? Here also the conductor is a long straight wire, long straight current carrying conductor. So what is the equation for calculating the magnetic field?
Mu 0 I by 2 pi r.
B is equal to mu 0 I by 2r. B is equal to mu 0 I divided by 2r. The same equation.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, here it's not a coil, right? It's a straight conductor. So we'll get 2 pi r, right?
Yes, mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r. Very good. Mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r. Yeah. So the equation is B is equal to mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r. Right. So here we have B is equal to mu 0 is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. And what about the current passing through this wire is 50 divided by 2 pi into the distance between the point and that of the conductor is 2.5 meter. Okay, so here we don't need to convert it into meter. It is already given in meter. So what about the final answer? 2 into 10 raised to minus 7 into 50 divided by 2.5. 50 into 2 is 100 divided by 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 7. 100 by 25 is 4, is it 4? 4 into 10 raised to minus 6. 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 Tesla. Four into 10 raised to minus 6 Tesla. Okay, so now it's the time. Let me take your attendance.